Protesters at the Capitol demand action, what they want to see from the DNR regarding a controversial oil pipeline across northern Wisconsin.
And an area congressman has chosen to lead a congressional committee with oversight on new technology, the new role for Janesville's Brian Stile.
Plus, we'll hear from farmers as we take a closer look at the impact the lack of snow is having on crops.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Thanks for staying with us at 5, everybody. A frigid to the work week, cold enough for alert days in the forecast in the days ahead.
Let's go to Alex Harrington with the latest.
Yeah, indeed. Very bitterly cold temperatures have been entrenched across southern Wisconsin today. It gets even colder by the time we get to Tuesday morning. That's why we've outlined alert day conditions for Tuesday morning, really for all of southern Wisconsin. Wind chills could get as cold as minus 25 waking up to Tuesday morning, so that's dangerously cold conditions. In fact, we have a cold weather advisory for areas north and northeast of Madison until 9 o'clock on Tuesday, but we all will see these very cold wind chills Tuesday morning. Right now, the actual air temperature is 13. You put a little bit of wind out there, that drops the feels like factor all the way down to 4 degrees. And even though our Skycam here, as part of our First One WeatherCam network, is showing clear conditions, it's that deceptive clear skies, deceptive sunny skies. It's a cold one out there. This evening we dip down to -8 by the time we get towards the end of the evening. Coming up in Maine Weather, we'll track just how cold your neighborhood could see those wind chills tomorrow morning.
All right, Alex, thank you. A group of activists come together today in opposition to a Canadian oil company operating right here in Wisconsin.
And it comes after a pipeline owned by the company ruptured in Jefferson County last November, spilling close to 70,000 gallons of oil. News 3 Now's Kyle Pozorski reports.
Shut down Line 5! Shut down Line 5!
Protests taking place Monday morning demanding the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources rescind a permit to reroute Line 5, a controversial pipeline in northern Wisconsin. The operator, Enbridge, controls other pipelines throughout the Great Lakes states, including Michigan, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. In November, the DNR approved a permit to reroute Line 5, extending its lifespan.
It's all connected. If the Line 5 is shut down, then the Line 9 too.
Oliver Hurd, a climate activist from Canada, came to Madison to make his voice heard. He, along with others, coming together to deliver a message to DNR Director Grave Pills, saying the permit to reroute the line is risking the water in the Great Lakes.
It's really important for Canadians to stand up and be responsible as our fellow activists in Michigan and Wisconsin to protect the Great Lakes.
Protesters who came here to the state DNR office building tell me their concern with Enbridge doesn't stop at Line 5 in northern Wisconsin, but everywhere that the oil company operates in. It was in November when a separate line operated by Enbridge spilled here in southern Wisconsin at a site near Cambridge. The approval of Enbridge's Line 5 reroute came just a few days afterwards. Activists point to reliability issues with the oil company's track record, such as the Cambridge spill, as the reason why shutting down Line 5 is so critical.
40 million people depend on drinking water from the Great Lakes. So we're basically just setting ourselves up for catastrophe for virtually no benefit.
In downtown, Kyle Pozorski, News 3 Now.
Kyle, thank you. Line 5 has traversed the Great Lakes of states of Wisconsin and Michigan since back in 1953. Enbridge tonight telling us they, quote, recognize the rights of individuals and groups to express their views about the energy we all use legally and peacefully. However, continue, the project will generate millions of dollars in construction spending as well as jobs in Wisconsin.
Tonight, the village of McFarland is holding a meeting to address citizen concerns surrounding the redevelopment of Districts 1 and 2. In December, 60 properties were declared as blighted, sparking the fear of some losing their homes. Village leaders say the property owners are at no risk of eminent domain, and the blight designation is part of an evaluation for future improvements. Tonight's meeting starts at 6 in the McFarland Municipal Center. In a statement, Village President Carolyn Clow said she is committed to transparency and acknowledged communication missteps.
Brian Stile, the Republican representative for Wisconsin's 1st Congressional District, has been appointed to lead a House subcommittee. That committee focuses on digital assets like cryptocurrency, financial technology, and artificial intelligence. In a statement, Congressman Stile says, quote, innovation in the financial services sector provides an exciting opportunity for consumers and entrepreneurs as technologies like financial apps, digital assets, and machine learning revolutionize our economy.
150,000 borrowers will be seeing debt relief in the final days of Joe Biden's presidency. This round focuses on student loan relief for those who were defrauded by schools and those who have permanent disabilities. This round also includes over 6,000 public service workers.
This announcement builds on the historic actions our administration has taken to reduce the burden of student debt, hold bad actors accountable, and fight on behalf of students across the country.
A Waterloo man has been given a life in prison sentence for the killing of a Dane County woman in 2022. 71-year-old Jose Luis Gonzalez was sentenced for first-degree intentional homicide in the death of 39-year-old Dora Gonzalez Zarate. According to a criminal complaint, Gonzalez and Zarate were in a relationship she was trying to end. Gonzalez left Wisconsin the days following her death in August of 2022.
Fitchburg police say 2 people are in custody tonight after driving drunk on U.S. Highway 14 onto the Beltline. The 2 were going the wrong way in the eastbound lanes. A Fitchburg officer was helped by the Dane County Sheriff's Office to stop both drivers near Fish Hatchery Road. Both were arrested for operating while intoxicated with breathalyzer tests at almost double the legal limit.
In Greene County, the Healthy Community Coalition released its community health assessment for last year, and one of the key points they found to address was mental health. In the report, they found there were 43% fewer health providers in Greene County compared to the state average. The report also found that 46% of high schoolers are experiencing anxiety. 14% say they are seriously considering suicide. Housing was noted as the most lacking when it came to social health. 41% said the county lacks diverse housing options.
As the temperatures drop over the next few days, it's time to think about winter safety for you and your family. UW Health says many of the winter injuries they see through the season are preventable. Rochelle Ethan is a pediatric injury prevention program manager for UW Health Kids, and she says that even in the wintertime, the sun can still be a factor.
As kids are out playing, or even adults, majority we are, covered up and stuff, but there are, if we're out there for excessive periods, the sun is very bright in the winter as well. So making sure that you're wearing sunscreen to help protect your skin all the time is definitely valuable and important.
She also recommends frequent breaks for children who are out playing in the snow, 20 to 30 minutes outside, and then come inside to warm up a little bit and stay hydrated.
Dementia cases in the U.S. are more frequent than previously thought, and they could double in the next few decades. According to a new study published in the Nature Medicine journal, roughly 42% of Americans over 55 will get dementia. Researchers say one main reason for the rise in dementia cases is the aging baby boomer generation. The study also found black adults and women are more likely to develop dementia than white adults and men.
Tax filing season is upon us, and there are several new options available to taxpayers this year. One specifically is the Wisconsin pilot program to e-file your taxes for free. When you look it up online, several fake results will come up. The only website with the free filing program is revenue.wi.gov. Click on the WISC tax icon. It will help you file federal and state taxes if you qualify.
Wisconsinites can be split on whether or not they prefer a snowy winter.
I think the two of us are split.
Yes, very much so.
And it turns out, so can certain plants. Arman Rahman has more on how the bitter cold and the lack of snow can impact crops on farms and at home.
I'm standing in a field of winter wheat, which this season is a bit of an unfortunate name because it's one of those winter annual crops that can really benefit from having more snow cover. The field's a bit too frozen for Kevin Shelley's shovel to do much.
We need snow to help replenish the moisture.
Winter wheat helps prevent soil erosion, while freezing and thawing can help expand and contract roots. Overwintering crops like alfalfa hay or winter wheat need a snow cover to prevent the frost from damaging the part of the plant vital for growth.
What's called the crown of the plant, that can maybe suffer some injury from heaving or just the physical forces of that freezing thawing action.
Too much damage to the crown can result in winter kill.
In the spring, as the crop would normally come out of dormancy and start to grow, we'll have just dead areas and it won't regrow at that point.
Shelley says the past 2 winters have been light on snow, forcing farmers to get creative with some of those overwintering crops.
Managing crop residue, less tillage, sort of like snow does. It's not quite as good.
Hearing that, you might think the same might apply for crops a little closer to home, your lawns.
Lawn grasses are usually made up of Kentucky bluegrass and fine fescue.
Grass and lawns are UW-Madison professor Doug Soldot's turf of expertise. He says Midwest winter will have to throw a lot more at these grass types to do real damage.
And the crowns will be able to withstand cold temperatures, lack of moisture, and they'll more than likely come out in spring just fine.
Back at Liberty Prairie, the cattle might be the only ones enjoying the dry, frozen ground.
Pretty happy they're out of the wind and soaking up the sun.
But Shelley would like a little more balance.
I'd like to get a little bit more snow yet this winter.
Reporting in Deerfield, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington is back next. He'll have your complete first warn forecast as we get a chilly start to the week.
Yep, and a stomach bug has been going around. It's impacting a lot of people in our area. How to take precautions to protect your family from norovirus. Next at 5.
On Wall Street today, the Dow with a strong start to the week, up more than 358 points. NASDAQ down another 73.5. The S&P 500 adds about 9. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5, moving forward.
Welcome back. Sun Prairie Police are asking for your help to find 27-year-old Ingrid Isamar Valverde Ponce. She was reported missing by her family yesterday and was last seen Saturday at a gathering on Klubertans Drive in Sun Prairie. Ingrid was reportedly seen near her home on South Bristol Street, but has not been seen since. If you see her, please call Sun Prairie Police at the number on your screen.
There's a nasty stomach bug that causes vomiting, diarrhea, nausea, and more. Norovirus continues to spread across the U.S.
But many may not know that most household cleaners and even many hand sanitizers do not get rid of this virus. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has more on how to kill norovirus and protect your family.
In the U.S., as of August 1st, there have been nearly 500 norovirus outbreaks. In states that report that data, there were 363 norovirus outbreaks reported by these states in that same period last seasonal year.
Basically, any place that people aggregate in close quarters, they're going to be especially at risk.
Dr. Sanjay Gupta says norovirus can survive on surfaces for long periods, and many common household cleaners and even hand sanitizers can't kill it.
They may say, for example, that they are 99.9% effective, like this does, against viruses and bacteria, but it turns out that norovirus is often in that 0.1%.
Gupta says it has to do with the virus's makeup. Its tough protein protective coat makes it harder for cleaners to penetrate. He says companies do make products that kill norovirus, but you have to check the label to see if it's included. You can also make your own.
By mixing bleach with water, 3/4 of a cup of bleach per gallon of water. Now, if you don't want to use bleach, for example, on your countertops, you can try a disinfectant that contains hydrogen peroxide instead.
Norovirus can also survive temperatures up to 145 degrees. So if you're disinfecting carpet, experts recommend steam cleaning for 5 minutes at 175 degrees. The same for laundry.
Use hot water on the longest cycle and dry at the highest heat setting.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
And Dr. Gupta says to always remember to wash your hands with soap and water. He says the act of scrubbing can actually wash away any virus.
A full look now at your first warn forecast. Meteorologist Alex Harrington joins us. A chilly stretch of weather, Alex.
Yeah, the full story is all about the temperatures here. Wind chills could get as cold as -25 Tuesday morning, southern Wisconsin. So we're highlighting this period Tuesday morning for alert day conditions, as these are dangerously cold wind chills that are on the way to southern Wisconsin. We have cold weather advisories for wind chills in excess, meaning colder than 20 below zero. Areas up towards the Dells, up towards Marquette and Green Lake counties, you're very likely going to see those isolated pockets of the -25 below zero wind chills. As we move forward with our wind chills right now, they're doable, meaning they are still cold, but they're not dangerously cold. We've got 4 in Madison, 2 in Janesville, 3 in Mineral Point, 13, that's temperate compared to what we're going to be tomorrow morning in Platteville at -2 right now. That's what it feels like in the Dells. Fast forward tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, anywhere between 15, 20 to 25 below zero wind chills across all of southern Wisconsin. This will be some of the colder air that we have seen this season. As we move into Wednesday morning, we start to moderate a little bit. Not dangerously cold, but you're going to be waking up to wind chills anywhere between -5 and -10 below. So let's track the dots here tomorrow as we start our day, 8 o'clock. We're right on the cusp between caution and danger, meaning these are dangerously cold wind chills to start the day. We work our way into the cold to cautionary area as we go into the later afternoon hours. So it's that morning period from, let's say, 8, 9, 10 o'clock that we're in that zone, and before that as well, 6, 7, 8 o'clock, where those wind chills are going to be quite dangerous. And in terms of frostbite, we're right on the cusp again of this dangerously cold air mass that could produce frostbite if you have exposed flesh in as little as 30 minutes. And we've got, believe it or not, even colder wind chills on the way. First right now, 13 in Madison. That wind chill right now is at 4 out there. Deceptively clear skies and deceptively sunny skies out there. That's the recipe actually for cold temperatures. But I want you to look at these bottom numbers here. When you join us at 6 o'clock, we could be already below zero wind chills. By the time we get to 10 o'clock, probably the single digits below zero. And then again, we're going to push 20 below as we go into Tuesday morning. Thermometers will actually be reading temperatures in the teens with that deceptive deceptive sunshine and that breeze out there. It'll look nice out there. It isn't going to feel nice Tuesday in southern Wisconsin. As we march forward here, and believe it or not, saying March, look at Friday's high temperature. That's almost March-like at 40 degrees. Swinging behind me here, the temperatures swing back down. Early next week, Monday and Tuesday, we're looking at perhaps the coldest air that we've seen thus far this winter season. At 6, I'm going to be tracking and giving you a glimpse of what some of those wind chills may be looking like on Monday going on into Tuesday morning of next week. It's looking quite dangerous across much of the country next week, early next week, with those very, very cold temperatures Monday and Tuesday. Single digits for highs, single digits below 0 for lows, and potentially wind chills in a very dangerous category.
From 40 to 3.
40 to 3.
Ouch.
Yep.
All right, Alex, thank you. Still to come, an update on efforts to contain the wildfires in the Los Angeles area as the damage totals and the death toll continue to rise. That's after the break.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Several counties are reporting 911 outages after a fiber optic cable was broken. Outages are reported in Columbia, Iowa, Richland, Marquette, and Adams counties. And for the numbers to call in your area and updates, go to our website, channel3000.com, and simply click on this story. Well, the death toll from the California wildfires is now up to 24 as the Los Angeles area braces for more heavy winds.
Officials say 92,000 people in LA County are under evacuation orders. Laura Hafley reports from Los Angeles.
Firefighters from Napa joined the battle in Southern California, helping hose down a house engulfed in flames from the Palisades fire Sunday. An estimated 75% of the Pacific Palisades is wiped out. Only scorched earth remains, and with red flag warnings up through Wednesday, officials say high winds combined with low levels of humidity will keep the fire threat in all of Los Angeles County critical.
We are not in the clear as of yet, and we must not let our guard down.
And city officials say they've strategically positioned engine strike teams and task forces to respond rapidly to any new fire that breaks out. As crews continue to tackle hotspots, authorities say more than 24 people are missing, the majority in the Eaton fire area. The sheriff's department is asking residents for their patience as they search for victims.
People are saying, I just want to go look at my house and I want to see what's left. We know that. But we have people literally looking for the remains of your neighbors.
In hard-hit Altadena, one resident came back to find his home of 40 years survived.
And after 40 years, you know, you got a lot of stuff you forget about that would disappear if the house burned down. So we were thankful that it didn't.
At the Pasadena Convention Center, which is serving as a shelter, FEMA workers helped survivors register for assistance.
I'm sure it hasn't been an easy time, but, you know, I'm glad you're here, right?
And even though evacuations are still keeping some schools closed, Los Angeles Unified School District reopened most schools Monday. Laura Hafley, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And the LA County District Attorney says dozens of people have been arrested for looting since the fires began this week, and officials say they're also trying to crack down on price gouging and also scams.
We're back with a final check of the forecast in just a minute.
Coming up tonight on the CBS Evening News, the new warnings about explosive fire growth as dangerous winds sweep through California and are expected to continue overnight. The efforts to fight these 3 active blazes, plus the new video that may explain how one fire started. That and more headlines tonight right here on the CBS Evening News.
Walmart shoppers may soon notice a subtle change to the company's logo. Take a look. Walmart unveiled its redesigned logo today. It's been nearly 20 years since the company had made changes to the logo. Alex is shaking his head. It's hard to, it looks very much the same, doesn't it? But it's got a
little chunkier.
A chunkier, bolder font compared to the last one. Walmart says the revamp was inspired by founder Sam Walton's old trucker hat.
All right.
Well, we build graphics all the
changes.
time, and we're looking at our
Big changes.
graphics really, really close, so I was struggling with that one.
Well, Alex is back. He's got one final check of the forecast, and there's just one word to say. It's cold.
Cold, yep. And we've got a big warm-up this week as well. Isn't that interesting? Brief. And then back to the cold stuff. Alert day conditions Tuesday morning. Don't be surprised to see some localized wind chills to 25 below zero. So that's the dangerously cold stuff that we'll be dealing with Tuesday morning. Here's the bottom line. Minus 20 to 25 Tuesday morning, up to 40 by the end of next week. Coming up at 6, I'm going to let you know just how cold those alert day wind chills are going to go next week. Look at Friday. 40 degrees. After coming out of the deep freeze, we go up to 40, and then we're back down. We were saying this earlier. We swing back down to 3. That's all we're going to do for a high next Tuesday. Overnight lows, some latest weather models are coming in, could be between 10 and 20 below zero, and those are the actual air temperatures. So we are on one roller coaster the next 10 days.
Well, we're back in 30 minutes. Sarah Carlson joins me tonight. Her debut on News 3 now at 6. CBS Evening News is next.